Hello everyone, my name is Legend Ronnie and this game is Rise of Kingdoms, and today we have all the epic commanders talent trees updated. In this video I'm gonna go through all my epic commanders. I have them all at level 60 except just one commander. So I'm gonna show you exactly all the talent trees that I have on them, either for garrison, field battles, for any kind of situation. This is just related to the talent trees, so if you want to know more specifics or more in depth about each and every epic commander that I'm gonna talk about today, there is specific videos for each and every one. So I'm gonna post a card on the top, or you can probably find in the description of the video as well. You'll find links to actually go to the commander spotlight for each and every commander, and there is where you can actually find more in-depth details about pairings and a lot more other stuff. Or if you want to just hear me more talking about the talents, more detailing about the talents, you'll find in those specific videos for the specific commanders. Let's go into the talent trees, and the first talent tree is Sun Tzu, and this is for field battles. Now there's various other options you can go with the field battle one. For example, you can choose feral nature, so this is another way you can do his talent trees for field battles with feral nature, but then you have to drop the march speed from this side, and you probably have to drop another point from defense as well. I like this one because Sun Tzu is very slow, so actually trying to give him some march speed is just, makes the march a little bit more mobile. Going on to his second talent tree is the Garrison talent tree, and this is that I use on my city. Whenever my city is being rallied and I use Sun Tzu as a garrison commander, this is the one that I use on my city. It's a very rare chance that I get surrounded, but you can get double rallies, and that can also be considered as being surrounded. So for that reason I keep Know Thy Enemy, and you're noticing that is nowhere to turn, which again is a city garrison. Now if I want to defend a flag, a fortress, a pass, or anywhere else, and I want to use Sun Tzu, this is the talent tree that I would do. I would go with Kingsguard, Undying Fury, and Feral Nature. This might just sound a little bit of overkill when it comes to all this Rage Restoration, but this is pretty much what Sun Tzu will do. So you want to put another skill damaging commander a second, preferably YSG, and then you have Sun Tzu YSG, and they'll just pop skills like madmans. Hermann. This is the current archer tree that I was trying on Hermann, so I was trying to empower Hermann as much as I can. I was trying to give him more damage. I was trying to find ways to actually empower him because his defense is very weak. So if his defense is very weak, I said that I need to find ways to actually make Hermann to actually do more damage, right? So if he's weak, at least let him do damage, and when he goes down, he goes down. This was the last talent tree that I actually tried. You can see the order from page 1 to 3. Then this is the one that I usually recommend, and this is also the one that I have on my Discord as well, with 2 points in full quiver, so pay that attention. And on this one you only have 3 points in whistling arrows. Going further, this is the Garrison talent tree. This is not a city garrison talent tree. This is for flags, passes, or any kind of other buildings where you want to do a full archer garrison. Obviously this can be changed a little bit, so for example, instead of going with Phoenix Tail Arrow, you can go with Venomous Sting. The only reason I went with the Phoenix Tail Arrow is because in a flag, a pass garrison situation, you have a lot of troops, so this 200 direct damage factor will definitely be much higher. So I just wanted to try to empower that, or at least try this talent build, but I didn't have a chance to actually try this in a flag or in a pass. Obviously if things doesn't go so well, or just doing like a full archer garrison, you can always go, if you want to use Hermann or not, but Sun Tzu is much better option for that. You can go with the full skill, and exactly like Sun Tzu was made with Kingsguard, with a full skill, and then it's pretty much a general garrison commander. This is the archer talent tree that I recommend for Hermann. If you want to go with this one, it's fine. It's not like a huge difference. The reason I'm doing these types of talent trees for Herman is because he already has Rage Restoration. You can go into his skills and you can check his skills. He has 100 Rage Restoration chance already. So if you go with Feral Nature, might just be a little bit overkill on Rage Restoration. So for that reason, I just tried these two talent builds, but I didn't see much of a difference, to tell you the truth, between them. Whichever you want to use is the same. Right, going on to Kusunoki, which is another archer commander. So this is the talent tree that I was saying about. If you just want to make a general with the garrison commanders, you just go with the full skill, you go with the King's Guard. This talent tree I tried against Attila Takeda. So I tried Kusunoki with YSG, and I tried to make with 4 archers. Against Attila Takeda, it just didn't work. It was horrible. We had double the dead. Probably the other one that I showed you on Herman might have been a little bit better. I have no idea, but this is a general one that you can do on garrison commanders with the full skill, with the King's Guard, and it depends. You can get arrow knocked, tumbling. If you're getting hit by infantry, then this is the second garrison build that I have on Kusunoki. This is obviously anti-swarming with no die enemy. I still prefer the King's Guard, to be honest. I think just getting more stats, it's actually way more beneficial. And then I have for field battles, the reason I'm going with Feral Nature on Kusunoki is because he doesn't have any kind of Rage Restoration. So commanders that don't have Rage Restoration, I just tend to go with the Feral Nature. For example, Herman has Rage Restoration, YSG has Rage Restoration, Edward doesn't have Rage Restoration, Pelagius has Rage Restoration. So there's a couple of commanders that actually have Rage Restoration abilities. So for those commanders, I don't choose Feral Nature, but Kusunoki doesn't have any sort of Rage Restoration. So if for field battles, if I would have to use him for field battles, I would definitely go with Feral Nature. The next commander is Scipio, Blades of Warfare. Is it actually true? I have no idea. This is my mix of troops, field battles, talent tree for Scipio. This is something that I also used in Sunset Canyon, for that matter. Yeah, this is the last one. So I definitely used this talent tree in Sunset Canyon with mix of troops. I'm not in a favor of mix of troops in any kind, but in Sunset Canyon mix of troops, it does worth it. Trying to get some of these bonuses from the talents, it just does help. So for that reason, I've actually done a talent tree for mix of troops. This would be the talent tree that I would use for mix of troops if I want to rally with Scipio, going with Entrench, with Fight to the Death, Martial Mastery, Fortress, and obviously Armed and Armored. A little bit of a downfall, I would say, is that you don't have Hidden Wrath. That Rage Restoration would actually help him a lot, but everything else that I got is pretty needed or pretty useful for Scipio. So it's not something I would want to trade if you want to use mix of troops just to get Hidden Wrath. I believe is when I was using the punching bag. So I was using Scipio and Osman, and I believe that Osman was not 60, so he was a second in command. So I was using Scipio first, and that's where this talent tree actually comes from. Scipio with Osman as a second in command, and I was just doing that punching bag theory because you just have a lot of troops in the march, and I believe that I was just trying to use one type of troops, and for that reason you don't have Armored and Armored, and you have all these damaging bonuses, and that's why you also don't have Martial Mastery, because it decreases active skill damage. Too much attention for Scipio. Joan of Arc. This is my support talent tree for Joan of Arc. This is that I used in Sunset Canyon when I want to put Joan of Arc first. This is the talent tree that I go with Armored. All damage taken is reduced by 4%. Fresh recruits. And I have a couple more options for Joan of Arc. This is more like an integration type rather than support talent tree. You have options for this talent tree. For example, you can go for Ares Blessing. Now if you want to go for Ares Blessing, you need to drop Steely Soul, 3 points, and 2 points from fresh recruits, which is kind of hurtful to drop the fresh recruits. Now if you want to drop counterattack, this also not very well to drop it. You really don't have any other options. If you want to go for Ares Blessing, so if you want to use John for field battles, I would probably go with Ares Blessing, to tell you the truth, rather than going with emergency protection, taking less skill damage with a chance, it's okay. Obviously it does help, but having less severely wounded or less troops to heal, that's also helps a lot. So personally I would definitely choose Ares Blessing, but I just haven't thought about it how exactly to work around. And this is the Garrison talent tree, which is much march speed as you can get. This is a level 60 Joan of Arc Garrison. Now a lot of players would probably just go with the full Cage of Thorns to actually reduce the march speed, but this is my Sunset Canyon, so I don't use this for field battles. And if I do use it, it would probably just to buff a rally or whatever other reasons. So it doesn't really matter which exactly is the talent tree on this one. Going on to the next one, we have G Moondog. So let's check his talent trees. Alright, so I suppose that this is something that I tried for rally with Alexander the Great. So I was using G Moondog first, Alexander the Great second. Alexander was not maxed, just to point it out when I was doing this test. It wasn't actually working. That's why I have Fight to the Death, I have Armored, Fortress, and Elite Soldiers. It wasn't working. I mean, it was not coming up to the expectations, considering that Eulgi and Alexander should actually have a very good synergy skill-wise, but as practice it was just not working. As a Garrison talent tree on G Moondog, and this is the one that I have, I would rather go something like Anti-Swarming. The reason I would do that is because of G Moondog Fort skill. That would be the reason that I would actually try to do something more like Anti-Swarming with G Moondog. And I suppose this is just another version of the field battle talent tree or rally. No, this is field battles, because I don't have Fight to the Death. Yeah, this is field battle talent tree. Okay, that's why I don't have some march speed, and I went for Elite Soldiers to actually just pump some stats, because it's not much damage that G Moondog or Alexander do. Because I was still using G Moondog with Alexander. I think I also tried this talent tree in Sunset Canyon in the same time. I'm not sure if I tried this as well. Probably this one as well. It just doesn't work. More like if you want to put in with Scipio, then there is a little bit of a synergy between their skills. Yeah, not much utilities. Boadicea. This is my Boadicea talent tree. I have half the skill talent tree, thoroughbreds, and whatever goodness you actually need from peacekeeping. Now I do have other talent trees for Boadicea as well. This is just my peacekeeping. This is my barbarian killer. That's why I went with as much march speed as I can, because I want my marchers to be as fast as they can. So when you kill barbarians, you can keep going faster and faster from one barbarian to another. This is another talent tree if you just believe that Boadicea doesn't have that much survivability. You want to go with Curing Chant. Yeah, that's the last one in peacekeeping after defeating barbarians or neutral units. And I suppose I was trying to do this for a field battle, just in case there is some Boadicea fans that want to use her for field battles, which I highly disagree. She has no defense. She's like Herman, like Babers. There's no defense on her. I would not recommend her using her for field battles, neither Lowheart for that matter, because they're just very weak, to tell you the truth, for field battles. But if you do want to use her for field battles, I would personally go with the full skill talent tree. I mean full skill. Feral nature. This is what I consider full skill talent tree. Once you obtain the feral nature, and then mobility. Try to get as much mobility so the march is not slow. If you're really not happy, you can go with fresh recruits, you can go with mix of troops, but that's 100% hospital bills, big hospital bills. So it's entirely up to you what you want to do. I would just keep her for peacekeeping, because that's pretty much what she's made for. Then we have Pelagius, the people's champion. Probably one of the most used epics, Pelagius and Sansu, to tell you the truth. I do hope they will introduce more epics into the future that will have more utilities. Alright, so this is my Cav talent tree on Pelagius, and this is when I use double C as a second in command. You're noticing that I didn't went with feral nature, and I have Undying Fury and Disarm on Pelagius. So at least one of my marchers, when I'm doing 5 cav marchers, at least one of my marchers has Disarm, because Disarm works with the other attack reductions. It's a talent, so talent and skill, it's totally different. This is with latent power. So if I want to do Pelagius with Minamoto, this is the talent tree that I use. Or if I want to use Pelagius with another commander that has additional damage or enhanced additional damage, I go with the latent power. because it's helpful. But if it's just Pelagius, it doesn't really help him. 6%, to tell you the truth, you don't see much of a difference to enhance his additional skill damage. Pelagius and Double C, they don't need it. But if you use Pelagius with Minamoto, for example, you do need latent power. So I drop this arm to just enhance more damage. After that, I have a Garrison talent tree for Pelagius as well. Now, if you do want to use Pelagius, this is very interesting. Either way you want to work around on doing your Garrison talent tree on Pelagius, you want to take Emblazoned Shield, because that's literally skill damage taken reduction by 12%, which is pretty significant. So either way, I mean, if you're not happy, for example, with no die enemy, and you just want to get Rejuvenate, or you just want to get something else from the Cavalry, do it, but you definitely need Emblazoned Shield, and you definitely want to get Impregnable. These are very, very good Garrison talents that you want to have. Going on to the next commander is our famous Lowheart. Right, well, you're noticing a very similarity between Lowheart and Boadicea. Pretty much, I just use them for killing barbarians, so I just want to keep them for that reason. Now, I do have all the talent trees for Lowheart as well. If you don't care about mobility and you just want to make sure that you literally get more healing, and you also do more damage and enhanced healing, and you know, all that stuff, then you can definitely go with Harrowing Chant, but you lose march speed. You lose about 9% march speed. If you do solo farming, I believe that this talent tree might probably be one of the best, and actually having more healing, more damage and stuff like that will definitely help you a lot more. This one is pretty universal, is, you know, just for killing barbs, random killing barbs. This one is more survival. This one is just don't think about it, really. Just look at it and don't think about it, because it's not worth it. If you want to use Lowheart for field battles, that's 100% no-go. But I actually done it because I'm pretty sure there's people out there and that are actually trying it or want to try it or use him. I would just don't. He's barbarian specific, and just use him for barbarians with one of the two talent trees that I actually gave you. Alright, Belisarius. I actually have 4 talent trees for Belisarius, but he only has 3 pages. So this is the talent tree that I use on Belisarius, because I can use this talent tree on Ark of Osiris. I'm not having all the march speed that I want. I'm not having all the good stuff that I would actually want. But if I would want to just get a march there specifically just to grab Ark and actually try to get it as far as I can, this would be the talent tree that I would use. And in the same time, I have Trophy Hunter, so I can pretty much do barbs as well and get all the benefits from killing barbs in the same time. If you just care about mobility, this is the one that I recommend, except you need to put the Trophy Hunter on Swiftness. It would be much more beneficial if you get 2 points on Swiftness. This is the King of Mobility talent build that I named it like very long time ago, very long time ago, probably about 2 years ago, when I started doing talent builds, the King of Mobility. Now the difference between the King of Mobility and this talent tree is just 1% march speed, but there is a downfall on this talent tree. It says increase march speed of all troops by 10% when not in combat, but decrease march speed by 10% while in combat. So when you get in combat, you also get a 10% debuff, and you use the 10% bonus. So you pretty much get 20% less march speed the moment you're being targeted or hit. So is time management actually good? It has utilities when you want to get to targets when you're 100% sure you're not getting hit. It definitely helps for that, but in situations, when in combat situations, the King of Mobility is much faster. The reason I like this one is because I lose like what, 6% march speed. I'm fine with losing 6% march speed and actually gaining a Emblazoned Shield. I'm just fine with that. And now the 4th talent tree that I was actually talking about on Belisarius, I'm just gonna reset this to actually do it. It would be one major problem that everyone has on Belisarius is when they want to kill barbarians. So for example, you have pre-KVK event, you're going into the Lost Kingdom, right? And you just want to burn, let's say, 50,000, 100,000 action points, killing barbarians, killing marauders. And you're pretty much very unhappy with Belisarius because he just literally doesn't survive long, isn't it? So you want to empower him. Now, for that reason, to actually empower him, you want to go with the full peacekeeping, or at least like this is how I call it, full. You want to go with Curing Chant, you want to go with Trophy Hunter. And after that, it's entirely up to you how you want to build a time tree, but you definitely don't want to go with Mobility, Undying Fury, and 2 points in Halberd. This would be pretty much that I want to do. Now, if you want to probably put another points in Mobility, or you want to just add a little bit of March speed so it's not literally that slow, that's entirely up to you. Then you can drop talents from Cavalry so you can keep resetting. And there's 3 more talent points that I can do. So I pretty much have everything I need. I could do health, or yeah, let's go with this against archers. So yeah, this is the final one. I will try when I'm gonna go on full barb farming with all my marches. I'm definitely gonna do Lowheart as well, for that matter, but I don't think Lowheart he needs. No, Lowheart doesn't have problems. I'll definitely do Boadicea for that, and I think I use double C as well. And whichever peacekeeping I use, I'm gonna go with the full peacekeeping, see if they will survive longer on the battlefield. Now the next one is Papyrus. This is my current talent tree on Papyrus. Now, to tell you the full history about Papyrus, this is how he started with his talent trees, with the full march speed and without emblazoned shield. I do have to say that mobility paid off. It might sound very, very crazy, but mobility paid off. The moment I switched from Osman, it was not paying off at all, the mobility, because the conquistadors, the special units on any kind of civilization, they are slower. So when I was with Ottoman, I was having normal T4, T5 cabs, which obviously are faster. And the reason this was paying off, because my Papyrus was always a target. I mean, that's the reality. Always a target. So whenever I was going into the battle, it wasn't taking 5 seconds and I had to retreat him. So this was pretty much what Papyrus was doing all the time. 90% of the chances was retreating. So for that reason, I had this talent tree with march speed, and it was actually helping. My march was always retreating, dragging their marches, making them change target all the time, while my other 4 marches was doing damage. So the strategy was working very well. But in KVK4 it was not working at all. So I tried to keep switching the talent trees. Then I went with Emblazoned and Shield to try to give him more defensive capabilities. And I also wanted him to pop skills faster, because he also reduced march speed. He does AoE, so I wanted to also try to do some damage. I was checking the reports and I was very unhappy. And it was just not working. Feral Nature is a gamble. It's a huge gamble. If you get it right at the beginning, when you start going into the battle, it does help a lot. You start popping skills pretty fast. I've seen Papyrus doing some amazing fast skill damage, but it's a huge gamble. So I ended up with this time tree and not gambling, having Undying Fury, which actually gives me 100% rage on each attack. And this was the final talent tree that I got on Papyrus, but it's still weak. So if I actually have to use Papyrus again for field battles, I'll probably go back to this talent tree, or drop the Feral Nature on this talent tree and just get some march speed, either from the Cavalry or from the Conquering. Either way, I'll do a combination like this with more march speed, so I can retreat him all the time because he is a target. Everyone knows he's weak. Osman. Going on to the talent trees on Osman, obviously march speed again, because he's very, very slow. So this is his first talent tree, march speed for a single type of troop, so it doesn't have anything related to mix of troops. Then I noticed he doesn't have any kind of rage restoration, so I actually went with more skill, hoping to actually he will pop skill faster. But he's not a specific specialization commander, so he's very much better being used as a second in command. I came out with this talent tree. I was just hoping that it will actually help him a little bit, but it wasn't helping him very, very much, to tell you the truth. And then this is for a mix of troops rally. I think I have the same talent tree on Frederick as well. So if I would have to rally with this skill leadership conquering type of commanders, I would definitely go with Feral Nature. They don't have any other type of rage restoration, so you might want to empower that. They do get from leadership Hidden Rat, but it's just too small. So you need any kind of rage restoration for these commanders. Mehmet, Frederick, Osman, Charlemagne, I think he is as well. So you definitely want to go with Feral Nature. It's entirely up to you. The reason I keep this one is because if I ever want to use him, it's probably for reinforcing. So I want to make sure that he has as much march speed as he can. That's why he's his first talent tree. This is the actual talent tree for him. So if I reinforce something, a rally or whatever, he will have the highest march speed. So he either gonna come back home or go to the rally faster. For that reason, I keep this talent tree. But this is the one that I would probably use for field battles, and this is to rally with mix. This is what I would use on. Right, the last and hopefully not the last one, because we do want more epics in the future, don't we? Now on Keira, it's pretty much similar to the other peacekeeping or the other archer commanders that we have. This is the current talent tree as a level 47 that I have on Keira. So you can go the same with peacekeeping, with skill, and then you can start putting some points in archer. It's entirely up to you, or you can fill the skill talent tree and you can start going on more peacekeeping, or probably I have enough to just go like a full peacekeeping. Yeah, I do have enough pricing. So you can do even this with Keira if you want. All you have to do is just reset. And the next thing I'll probably go for is clarity, so you get a little bit more march speed from the skill talent tree as well. The march is not going to be that freaking slow. Increase active skill damage and heraldic shield. So there's options you can go with Keira. Now if you want to do her for battle, probably want to go either talent trees that you've seen on Herman or talent trees that you've seen on Kusunoki. So you can either go with the Feral Nature, or you can go with the Venomous Sting or Whistling Arrow. Preferably what I would do on Keira would be something with Feral Nature for field battles. She is so much damaging oriented, and then yep, I'll do something like this. And then get Venomous Sting, and after that get Full Quiver. So this would be something for field battles for Keira. You need to empower her skill damaging, because that's what she's actually focused on, and she doesn't have rage restoration. So you want to make sure that she gets some rage restoration as well from the skill tree. Even if it's a gamble, like I was talking about Feral Nature, I would rather gamble, to be honest. What more can I add in this video? Well, that's pretty much about it, otherwise it might be too long. I could only add the blue commanders and the green commanders. I can leave that for some other video. Anyway, I hope you find this video very interesting or helpful. This is all my talent trees from all my epic commanders, and this is the most updated talent trees that I use on my epic. Until next time, this is your boy Geroni signing off. Peace out, yo, and take care. See you on the next one.